I love to come on here and celebrate great brands and just talk about the things we all love and enjoy here in the outdoors with regards to things like marksmanship, survival, bushcraft, self-defense, and all that good stuff. Well, in this video, it's going to be all about slingshots and all about a particular brand, Simpleshot. Stick around. It is one beautiful morning here in Southern Virginia. I'm very happy to see September coming around. Not a big fan of August because I'm not a big fan of the dog days of summer. But we're getting into September now and it's feeling gorgeous. This video is dedicated to those of you who love Simpleshot, who collect their frames. I want to showcase my Simpleshot collection and just talk about all the things I love about these frames. I've told this story before, but it's Simpleshot that got me into slingshots. You know, when I was out searching for the right slingshot, I just kept seeing the Scout everywhere I went. I would try to Google slingshots and I kept seeing the Scout. And when I think about the first slingshot that ever got my attention, it was the Scout. It was my love for archery that led me into slingshots. I just wanted to broaden my horizon. I've spent these last few years doing that with my marksmanship, just touching in on a little bit of everything. What attracts me with regards to slingshots is the versatility. It's just like with any other marksmanship. You can go light, you can go heavy. I love the fact that I can play around with a slingshot, but I love the fact that I can also gather food with a slingshot, and in some situations could even defend if I didn't have anything else. I've collected a lot of Simpleshot frames over the years, and I will probably collect more, but let's take a look at the ones I've got. All right, y'all, I'm starting with the big hammer. I'm introducing it first. I use my hammer for a very specific purpose, and that purpose is slingshot darts. You know, a lot of people are very uncomfortable shooting darts because of how close the dart is to their hand. And you know what? I completely understand that. But what I like about the hammer is that there's a lot of space between this dart and my hand. Now I use the sniper sling bands for shooting darts. I also use the sniper sling darts. But you know, even if you didn't shoot darts with this, you can rack up a lot of power. You can put some heavy bands on this and you can just draw this thing back and you've got that wrist support. You can just shoot with a lot of power with the hammer, man. This is just an extraordinary slingshot. You can buy the sling bow setup and all that good stuff. Next, we kicking it with the OG Scout. No matter how many Scouts they invent, this bad boy right here is always going to have a special place in my heart. The Scout XT is just the original and it's known for its substance. Look at that palm swell. When you're working with the Scout XT, you know you got something in your hand. Now, the Scout XT has a little brother. They call him LT. He's 20% smaller and known for being one of the most comfortable frames to hold. I'd have to put it right up there with one of my favorites, if not my favorite. It's just, I don't know, it's just easy to work with. It just feels so comfortable. But yet at the same time, it's not too gaudy. You know, the Scout XT and the Scout LT, they had yet another family member that pulled up in the driveway. And the crazy thing about this guy was he looked a little bit like the XT and the LT put together. And that is the Scout X, ladies and gentlemen. This slingshot's just got kind of a Spider-Man vibe to me for some reason. It's got a comic book look to it. You know, it's got these fiber optic sights. It's just very comic book. And you can get like the bright green, which is really comic book. You can get red. This thing is bad to the bone. The palm swell is nice, but it's not too big, and the fiber optic sights are just amazing. And this is super comfortable, more comfortable than the XT. Now, as of recent, another Scout family member showed up in my life, and I've never met somebody from the Scout tribe as fancy as this. I mean, when I met this member of the Scout family, I thought, where did you come from and what are you made of, my friend? And that is the Pro series. This is the Scout LT Pro. You're dang right I paid $100 for this because it was worth it. And when I shoot it, it's worth it. I love the weight. I love the materials. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And the band attachment, better than all. You just don't deal with the same recoil with this type of frame. Now the Scout's got some cousins, and these guys have kind of a tactical look to them. there's just something razor's edge about these things, man. They're kind of different. When I think about tactical slingshots, or slingshot at least with a tactical look, boy, oh boy, I got to introduce you to their cousins. Look out for the Torque family, my friends. We got the OG Torque here, ladies and gentlemen. Just take a look at that slingshot right there, man. Loop tube attachment, wide band attachment. This thing is just so awesome. This is one of those slingshots that I feel just a little bit cooler when I'm using, man. Like if I ever need to feel cooler than I normally am, I have to pull this out right here. And even if I just take a picture, you know, with this thing in my hand, I can't even hardly stand it. I mean, it's almost like I'm too hot to touch when I'm holding the Torque, you know, with this setup right here, man. And I love to put some high-powered loop tubes in this thing and shoot a lead ball. I cracked a coconut one day shooting some high-powered tubes through this frame. The Torque is just super bad. Almost looks a little bit like a gun. Now, the Torque also has a little brother. His name is the Torque X. Now, he's a little bit different. He don't like to rock the old loop tube holes. That's not really his style. He also feels like that his older brother's a little bit too big, so he wanted to go on a diet and slim down just a little bit. Here's the Torque X, my friends. And I gotta tell you, there's just something about reaching down in my Simpleshot box here, grabbing this thing out, going outside with him, and just, I don't know, man, it's just something about this frame. It's not as perfect as some of the others, but it stands alone as one that I had to have. It just, the way it fits in my hand, you know, it's a lot more comfortable in my hand than the regular Torque, you know, and I can go either way with this. I can do the whole thumb brace thing here, or I can just pinch grip this thing all the way around. And again, this is another one of those frames that when I pull it back, I'm just ready to go, man. So I had a conversation with the Torque X one day, and I said, how come your frame tips are not as wide as your big brother's? And his response was, well, you know, with the advancement of latex and the way things are going now, we don't necessarily have to have those wide bands. He said, I just want to offer the people who shoot me a more compact experience. Not to take anything away from my big brother, because after all, the OG Torque, it stands alone. Now, Simpleshot's very generous. They have adopted some other frames into their fold, such as this young lady named Sparrow, the daughter of Zachary Fowler. Now, you want to talk about comfortable shooting on a nuclear level? Get you a Sparrow. They don't even cost much. Last but not least, what can I say about the Stylus Revolve and the Slant Roller? These are some fun frames, and if you want to go light, you can. This Stylus Revolve here, man, this thing is super slim. If you want to slip this thing down in your pocket, you may not even know it's there. Now, I've got a special way I like to grip my Slant Roller. I get my finger tucked in that little hole just like this, and I just get a nice, firm, sturdy grip on this thing, and I'm ready to roll any day of the week. If you want to get into a box of fun, then fill that box up with Simpleshot Slingshots. So much character, so much brand, so much quality, so much everything. As always, I'm dropping links in the description. Every time I don't drop a link, people say, hey man, where's the link? I'll go out and drop links to all these slingshots. Just go to the description, you'll find a link for every single one of them. And as always, I appreciate your support of the channel. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your subscription. I'd love to hear about your Simpleshot collection. Which ones do you have and which ones do you love the best? Take care.